Talk to you later. Vito, the pedo. Hey, it's Vito the pedo. How are you?
Hey, don't. I'm not gonna.
Well, you know I mean
respond to that.
You know I mean it as a joke. Come on.
I know. I'm just fucking with
I've
you.
been called a pedophile plenty of times.
Man, this Boogie stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I just tuned in. What's going on with the podcast? Is it still happening?
It's still happening. We did a completely contentious episode tonight. There's other elements. There's going to be
contentious with you and Boogie, like you guys are fighting.
Yeah, we weren't going into it. I have no issues with Boogie, but he tried to lean on me the whole episode, basically. And I started figuring out. He's like, wait a minute. He doesn't want me to say anything controversial. He doesn't want me to milk any cows. He's leaning on me. He's manipulating.
He wants you to treat him with kid gloves.
Yes, that's what it was. But I didn't get it at first because he was like, can we leave this one thing off? So you just joined the cast. He's like, can we leave this one thing off? And I was like, boy, I bet Keem doesn't want me doing that, you know? But I was like, well, I got to keep him here. And it's not integral.
Is it something that was in the, I mean, well, what, are you allowed to say what it was?
I can't do that. But you probably, if you watch back, you could figure it out. You probably could figure it out. So I agreed to that. I agreed to that. I conceded on one thing, right? And then he tried to get me on another thing. He said, you can't talk about my girlfriend. And if you do, you have to not be a cunt about it. Well, what the fuck does that mean? I mean, I could get, don't talk about YouTuber A, but don't be a cunt. What does that mean? I think you know what that means. No, I don't. I think it's, you're going to be deliberately, I think you're deliberately being vague here. Here I am trying to work with you. So I guess you won't, he's like, I guess you won't concede to anything. I guess you won't set any rules. You sit there and told me you'll set rules. And now you're saying you won't play by any rules. Like you're completely being totally manipulative. I was like, what do you mean? I just gave it on the other thing. No, I was getting leaned on.
Oh no!
This is all behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, I was getting leaned on, and I'm like, and here's what happened on the second one. No. Here's your answer. No. Well, I'm gonna leave. And I'm like, normally because I said it by accident because like I'm on here, somebody does something like that. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But I really can't do that there, and he knows that.
You're in trouble with this show.
Probably.
I mean, famously, Dick tried to do a podcast with Boogie.
Oh, really?
And it was just such a... Yeah, he was... Originally, Boogie was supposed to reboot Biggest Problem instead of me. And then Boogie just had all these, weird, rules and, I'm uncomfortable with this or whatever else.
If anything, if I was willing to concede on some things, right? It's like let's say his dog died, right? He said, look, my dog.
Yeah, don't shit on my dead dog.
Give me 24 hours on that. Yeah, I could do that. No, I ain't doing it now. If anything,
I mean, if he said, don't say anything about my girl, don't insult my girlfriend, she's not really a part of this internet stuff.
Then I would have said, what do you consider? I would have said, what do you consider an insult? Because we have to be able to goof on her.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
He would come back and say, just don't be it. Be vague. Don't do this. And then he said, I was a talented enough comedian to figure it out.
Boogie has to realize, his girlfriend is probably the most interesting thing about him right now.
Actually, I gotta be honest with you. I thought she came off really good in that fucking podcast. And I don't say anything on there that's not true. I might say something to wind them up. But I generally, I liked her. Here's what I said. I don't know if I said this during the podcast or afterwards, but I said something effective. I'm always looking for the angle with her. What's her angle? Because he doesn't have any money. Maybe maybe she gives a shit. I don't know. There might there's got to be an angle.
I think it's an angel of death situation, and she's going to slowly poison him in a type way.
But if she
be like, "Oh, poor sick Boogie," but I have to take care of him.
Let's say she's being illegitimate, and I have no reason to believe she is. Yeah. By the way, other than my gut feeling, right?
Boogie, test your food before you eat it. That's all I'm saying. Get a food tester.
let's just say there is, there is an angle. She did a great acting job in that fucking thing because I believe she was ride or motherfucking monkey die. That's the impression that I got. Somebody in there said she's broken, and I'm like, aren't we all?
I mean, we talked about this on Biggest Problem, and Dick thinks it's, daddy issues.
Could be.
But you miss your depressing father, and you want to fix your new father figure.
I don't know. That might not be true, but I can't tell you why I don't think that's true because it would give away some of the episode.
Well, on the documentary, wasn't it like she's like, yeah, I grew up without a father, and everyone was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she said that. She said she
father?
didn't have a father figure in her
Well,
life.
that doesn't make sense. Well, maybe Boogie's lying to me. I don't know. So that's
usually when a 20-year-old girl latches on to like an older guy, 9 times out of 10, it's I didn't have a dad growing up, or my dad was distant, or whatever.
All right.
And I never had that male figure in my life, so I'll just take whatever I can get.
Boogie.
What does it mean when the girl latches on to an older guy who's like 480 pounds?
Yeah, it's like
what is that?
It means she probably had a fat dad who died, died of obesity, and she wants to prevent it from happening.
Vito's got a chance.
It means I can step in there and go, listen, if you need a fat piece of shit who doesn't treat himself right.
So Boogie quit Biggest Problem, or did
it was like they were discussing it. It was gonna, it never came to fruition.
Okay.
They had done a show where they I think it was Andy Signore had like it was a debate about Baby Yoda.
Yes. Yeah. You want to know what happened?
Really good content.
I have a personal story. I was supposed to have fucking Boogie's part, and fucking what's his name? And he cut me when Boogie said he'd do it.
Well, Boogie is a good get. You got to admit, you want a big fat guy to. But
he told me I was. Andy Signore told me I was on, and then he was pretty honest. Like, look, he's bigger than you. I'm taking Boogie with.
He's bigger than you in more ways than one.
Yeah,
you should get on. Well, he stopped doing the movie content, sadly.
Yeah,
if he ever does it again, Andy's got a great channel.
I don't care.
But after that, which was a ton of fun, I think people really liked that. Dick was like, "Hey, why don't we do a show?"
Yeah.
And then it just, I don't know, kind of fell apart.
Dick was really funny that night, if I remember correctly. He really killed it. Actually, I got to be honest with you. Boogie was so good with him, I would have ruined it. I think that was like, I'm kind of glad. And that's why I don't think I ever got mad at Andy, because when I watched the segment, I was like, wow, it was really good. I don't think I could have.
Yeah, it was good content.
Going up against, even in a fake debate, up against Dick is.
Dick will just say
no, but you want to be able to hang, at least comedically, or at least be able to make him look stupid, and that's a tall order if you're not listening to him every day. You know what I mean? It's like Dick's going to be tall. Well, Dick's, even if you're listening to anybody every day, that's going to be a tall order. So I'm kind of glad that Boogie got that job.
Well, I was calling in. I wanted to say the thing that is driving me nuts about Boogie, and I want Boogie to be happy, and I want him to be healthy and all that. Like, I don't wish ill will.
He's not either.
No, he's definitely not. And part of the problem is that he can't be just like real with people. I always feel like he's trying to emotionally manipulate everyone.
Really?
And it's like, well, yeah, I know I'm not like blowing the fucking lid off that. But like.
Well, I didn't think it was this bad.
The documentary, the level of emotional manipulation he's reaching with some of his tweets and his promotion of it, I'm like, Boogie, everyone knows what you're doing. You gotta stop. Where he was tweeting all the time. Well, after this documentary comes out, everyone's gonna see what a big fat piece of shit I am, and my life's gonna be over. And what can I do? At least you guys will know. And then. I'm like, Boogie, you just want everyone to come in and comment. No, Boogie, you're so good. You're fine. Everything's going to be like, I know what you're doing. You're killing me.
He's not good at it either. You know what I mean?
He's not. If he was good at it, at least it would be like, it's just so blatant what he's doing. And then he tweets today, and I'm furious because he goes, when I first watched, I have it right in front of me. Here's his tweet. When I first watched this documentary, I thought, it's over. Everyone's going to hate me after this, but I was okay with that. But that's not what happened. Instead, I saw so much love in response. It's tough love. So many of you want to see me succeed.
Yeah.
As we were filming the documentary, I thought I had given up, but today I feel like trying again. And then, of course, it's like a million comments of, I've been your fan forever, Boogie. You're going to be great. You're so fine. I just want someone to go in there and go, why the fuck did you spend $200,000 on
That's what he wants
hookers,
me to be. That's what he wants me to be. He wants me to be his motherfucking fan. And I got news for him. Yes. It's not happening.
Well, that's what he wants. He's riding this little high of, we knew what the documentary was going to do. You see a big fat guy who's a complete loser and a piece of shit, and you go, I kind of feel bad for that guy. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay? But now he really wants to, like, enshrine this moment. He wants to enshrine this moment where he goes, I've exposed how pathetic and what a big loser I am, and I want everyone to feel endless sympathy for me.
Did you see Charlie's video on this?
Is that a recent one?
Yes.
There's so many Boogie documentaries.
No, but Charlie's
Charlie's
video on the documentary. Did you see it?
Oh, about the documentary that came out? No, I haven't seen that yet.
Would you go watch that and then come back to me privately?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
I can't do because I took a little bit of a swing at fucking Charlie, which is not a fucking. That's not a. If you're in like drama, that's like not a smart thing to do. But
whatever.
Now, fuck it. Let's see what happens.
You
want to understand? You do shit like that all the time, so you want to completely know where I'm coming from. Do something that defies logic. You know.
Yeah, well, you got to spin straw into gold, man. Sometimes.
Yeah, but I meant
work.
But I kind of meant this. I didn't do this just to rattle the boat. I knew it would, but I meant this kind of, and I got taken off track too. And then I brought it up towards the end. I hope it gets on there. Keemstar will want it on there, I'm sure, because he loves stirring the pot.
Oh, on the podcast?
It definitely stirs it. Yeah, he's taking care of all the stuff. So
is somebody editing it? Like, are there like
yes,
parts
we got
where, like...
Keem's paying for an editor. He's been very generous with the whole thing. So. We'll
I mean, is there? I don't know if you're allowed to talk about this, but is anyone allowed to say like, "Hey, can we just take out that one little bit"?
I don't think I have nothing to do with that. If they cut a part that I did, which they could, there's some part that I would think about cutting. Actually, my spot was probably the most cuttable part. It's the only time that I got it. When you're not good, you're not good. I just had one small spot where I thought it was kind of,
but I'm saying like
care.
if any sensitive issues comes up or anything weird.
Well, Boogie's going to pull that card, but I wouldn't. No,
that's what I'm worried about.
Well, he tried to do it tonight, and now I think maybe it's good that he tried it tonight. So now I know how to deal with it a little better next time. That's the thing. So
he can't say, "Oh, I've exposed myself to the world, and here's everything about me." Also, I want to tightly control my image, and we can't talk about this, or this.
Well, it's not that.
That's the disingenuousness.
He does it even more manipulative. You're going to hurt my family, my friends. I'll walk if you do this. I'll walk if you do that. Like, what specifically do you have an issue with? He won't tell me. He'll use words like "don't be a jerk," and stuff like that. It's really fucking. And then I'm realizing, and he the thing is, we resolved it, and he brought it up again at the end. He's like, "I know you think I'm going to be manipulating, but I just want to tell you that you can't yell at me, otherwise you'll get a better performance at me, and you really need to agree for some rules in the beginning, because I don't like what you said that you're not going to agree to absolutely anything."
Oh man!
And I didn't do that, like fuck.
I was on a conference call with Boogie. I don't know if I told you this, but at one point, do you remember when Keemstar was trying to make a collectible card game with like influencers or whatever?
I didn't know that. Was he doing that? No,
yeah,
I didn't.
He started trying to make his own version of Pokemon with like Mr. Beast and Nikado Avocado were going to be on the cards or whatever.
The worst idea in the world. Pretty cool. You don't think so?
Yeah, it really was.
I don't know anything about that world, so maybe I don't know.
Well, Boogie was designing the rules of the game, and I was doing the graphic design.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Yeah.
No, we didn't really talk about it. It was a complete waste of time. And
can you draw?
Can
you draw?
I do very slightly, but I do graphic design, like logos.
Oh, okay. You can do. Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah.
There's a game called Star Realms, so I designed all the cards for that and all the packaging and stuff. So yeah, I got a big graphic design background. Okay. And so I was designing the cards or whatever, and then I'm fighting with Boogie. Because I was like, well, there should be multiple it's Mr. Beast is the draw. The fact that we had Mr. Beast agreed to be on collector's cards. I'm like, well, there should be like, an ultra rare Mr. Beast, but then like also a regular Mr. Beast and whatever else. Oh yeah, Star Realms is awesome. I'll send you a copy of this if you want.
I'll never play it. I'll be honest.
Play it on Steam. Try it on Steam. It's
Stop
awesome.
threatening to send me your comic book and send me your fucking comic book, you liar.
It's what I'm working on. The comic's coming.
I thought it's out. I thought it's out. I thought you're killing.
No, it's not out yet. We're still working on it. Okay. It's coming soon.
Fair enough. But go ahead. No,
so anyway, I made my point. I'm like, well, there has to be multiple If we have Mr. Beast, there should be like 10 different Mr. Beast cards. One of them can be like super rare. But if you're opening like an entire box of cards and you don't get a single Mr. Beast card,
I think you're right.
You're gonna throw a fit.
It's kind of like
you got to give the kids a couple things.
It's like FIFA and NHL. There's like a lower end Gretzky and a higher end.
Yeah, exactly. You can get like the uncommon Gretzky. Exactly.
Something. Yeah.
And Boogie was like adamant. He's like, there's only one Mr. Beast card, and there's only going to be one in every 20 boxes. And that way everyone has to buy 20 boxes if they want a Mr. Beast card. I'm like, people just won't buy the boxes because they know that's a ripoff and a scam. And turned into a huge blow up of Boogie. Like, I've found out that if you push Boogie, like you will get an actual like complete blow up where he's like, I'm quitting the project. We're not making cards anymore.
That's what he
bro,
did to me.
I just said we need more Mr. Beast.
He said if I brought up this person, he would walk. Because
he will pull that card. That he's out and it's over. Which again, I like Boogie.
Maybe he was testing me to see if I would do something like that. That's what I'm wondering.
Here's what he'll do is he wants to push people away because that way he can go, see, I knew nobody likes me. And
no, people,
Boogie, people want to like you, but you purposely go out of your way to create situations where they go, you know what, Boogie, I just can't handle you right away. I knew I couldn't trust that guy. I knew that guy was bad.
Other than cucking to Anita Sarkeesian like half a decade ago, I've never hated him a second. He never even made even when I was getting in a fight with him, I was fighting for the show. I don't hate him. He doesn't like me though. I don't think he ever has. In fact, he said that I forget he was trying to years ago. He was trying to be friendly to me. I was like, oh, stop it. You fucking hate my guts. You sent Billy the Fridge after me years ago. You fucking don't like me. It's okay. Don't. He's like, no, Tommy, I really, really value your opinion, and I listen to it all the time, right? I'm like, really? And then today he tells me, I didn't know you were in Germany. I'm like, you fucking lying sack of shit. That's the one thing everybody knows about me.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of your defining traits.
So fucking funny.
I mean, I confronted him. I was like, Boogie, I know what you, because he started. We were on the call, and he starts going like, "Oh, Vito, blah blah blah," and talking shit. And I'm like, I know you're just insulting me because you want me to give up on you, and that way you can always justify. Yeah. Oh, Vito, never really had my back. And I'm like, I know what you're doing. Don't do that, man.
Don't do that.
And he might pull that with the podcast. He's gonna go, see, you don't have my back, and blah blah blah.
Well,
it's all just this weird defensive mechanism. Also, Boogie said he was going to kill himself, and then he was going to give me a dragon statue, and now he didn't kill himself, and I didn't get a dragon statue. Boogie, I think that's unfair.
Yes.
I think if you tell somebody they're going to get a dragon statue,
get him a dragon statue.
I should get the dragon statue.
Okay, listen, Vito, I'm going to let you go because I'm
All right.
a fan in
Have
there.
Fun.
I'll let you go.
Enjoy the podcast.
You're a big star, so good luck with your comic, though. By the way, bud.
It's going great.
I'm glad. I know you're making. I knew you're making money, or so you're getting big Patreons or something. So good.
Oh man, the Patreon's killing it. The podcast is great.
Okay, all right.
Biggest problem in the universe.
Well, you got a great podcast, and I like Dick a lot too.
Thank you.
I wish you'd have me on.
Come on, I want to have you on.
Do I have to fly to LA?
We normally do guests in studio.
That's expensive for me. That's expensive for me.
Yeah, I assume you're not. Coming
if I was making tens of thousands a month, I'd fly tomorrow. And just to do it, but I'm not making that kind of money.
Dude.
You know what I mean? But yeah,
we're trying to figure out a way to have call-in guests who show up for half an hour. Or
just
something.
Keep me in mind. Just keep me in mind if it ever comes up. Really
you're on the
Give
list
me on the
slow.
Sure. Give me a slow day if something. I'll work with you.
I love it, brother. We'll have you on. I love you.
Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Have fun.